Oh my goodness. You're kidding. Comes right off. How's it going, everybody? Galaxy Card Shop here with another week of our weekly business update for our card business, where we mostly sell Japanese sealed, slabs, and singles. Today is Monday, April 7th. We got a couple updates today. So this past weekend, we sold a lot of our slabs that came in this past week. A lot of English stuff that had came were PSA 10s, and almost all of them have sold. We still got a good bit left, but a lot of them did sell pretty quickly, showing that the English PSA 10 market is still very strong. However, there is still a lot of uncertainty in the air with the Japanese products. I wanted to go and restock some products that I'm low on, and I'm being told by my supplier that it's $800 minimum per, or the maximum is $800 per day per person, and that's what a lot of people are saying right now. However, I'm not really sure if that's going to change, other than I just ordered some shiny treasure boxes because I ran out of those, and we will be getting those in 2 different shipments in 2 different days. However, the question comes when Team Rocket is released and the boxes are $150. How are we supposed to get a lot of those in at once, you know? So it'll be really interesting what happens throughout this week. I'm not going to probably buy a whole lot of stuff from Japan just because there's a lot of uncertainty. If I do buy anything, it'll be under the $800 mark. And then there's still the chance that they might remove that. So we will see what happens with that. That's just kind of part of doing business, is there's always going to be different changes, and you just have to try to find ways to work around it, or just prepare by having different arms and legs. And that's kind of what I did whenever I started doing grading. So excuse my mess here. Got some Chick-fil-A for lunch. Uh, I'm going through my 8s now to crack through them, because 8s don't sell. PSA 8s never sell, neither do 7s. Well, I won't say they never sell. Like if I auction them, they would, but I want to maximize the amount that I can get off of them, and the only real way to do that is by cracking them and selling them raw. So I'm going to be cracking these. I already cracked this one, and what I'm doing is when I crack it, I try to figure out why did it get an 8. Now a lot of times, you know, it's kind of arbitrary. You don't really know why. This one in particular, I noticed there was a right here, the corner was a little bit dinged, and I look on the back here, you kind of notice it here as well. And that's really the only main reason why I could think that it would get an 8, other than maybe the centering not being perfect. So I'm going to go through and crack all of these, and then I guess we can look through and see maybe why it got an 8 or a 7. All right, we got this Bubble View here, Japanese Bubble View cracked. I'm not going to do this for every single card, but to look at it and see why maybe it got an 8. The front looks very clean, and the back, it also looks very clean. There's maybe a little scuff right here, kind of hard to see in the camera. And I notice, let's see what else. There's like a little weird tiny indent right here. So little small things that you might miss that could get an 8. And a lot of times PSA themselves might, you know, accidentally damage your card, give you an 8. I don't know if that was there when I sent it off or not, but either way, there's going to be 8s when you submit, and that's just something that you have to accept. And it really sucks for the Japanese stuff, because you expect to get 9s and 10s on those. But either way, we are going to get that scanned in and posted on our website and eBay. The singles, the sales will slow down a little bit on the singles, but I do need to look at my prices, because prices are constantly changing. And now I just got to crack all of these and get them listed. And there's one other update. I'll post it on the screen. PSA came out saying that their turnaround times are now moving from, I think, 45 business days to 65 business days. So that basically adds another month. And they're increasing their price from, I think it was $16.99 to $18.99. So quite the change. You're getting basically an extra an extra month plus an extra $2 per card. So that definitely hurts for submitting to PSA. And that's why in my last video I kind of talked about how I was kind of diversifying sending to CGC. I know that CGC, the liquidity is much lower, and if you don't get a pristine, but I think it's still smart to diversify. And I'm still going to be sending stuff to PSA just because, especially the English stuff, the profit margins are just crazy. Let's see if I can find one real quick for you. For example, I didn't really talk about the profit margins on these last week, but these Tatsugiris, I was picking them up for like $10 to $15. Grading fee was around $15, $16. So all in all, about $30 in, and they're selling for like 120. So that's like what, 4 times a profit, 4 times. So the PSA 10 English stuff, you know, I'm gonna definitely continue sending English to PSA despite the long turnaround times. But definitely have to keep in mind which cards you're sending, because you don't want to send cards that have a high volatility. So I actually just purchased a bunch of different cards that I think will be good to send in, and I'll probably get those in throughout this week and next week. But it's not going to stop me from sending, and I think it will probably stop a lot of people, which should slow down their submissions, which I think is one of their overall goals. But that's basically it for today. Just have a few orders to pack. The Japanese sealed is still a lot of uncertainty. Thankfully, I still have a lot of inventory. I wanted to share this one real quick. This Tatsugiri I just cracked. To me, the front looked fantastic. You know, no scratches. Centering was great. This one is one that got a 7. Look at the back here. Looks pretty good. Except you notice right here, there is either a scratch or a print line. I think it's a print line. And that clearly is the main reason why I got downgraded to a 7. Because if you look at everything else, the centering is not bad. The corners are not horrible. There's one dot right here in this corner, so maybe this one downgraded it to a 9, and then that one might have took it down to a 7. So I'm going to keep that in mind moving forward. Print lines, actually there's another one right up there. Print lines are a no-go for English. Usually, obviously I missed that before I sent, but something to keep in mind. It is now Tuesday, April 8th. I did some reorganizing on the shelf here, as you can see. Been selling a lot of singles and slabs on eBay and the website, and I did get a grade reveal for a lot of my slabs. It was like a 51 card submission, and I'm not going to spoil that till it comes in, but let's just say I'm pretty happy about it. And the last update today is that I'm waiting on some Japanese cards that are currently in customs, so hopefully I will get those in. They did make it through before that tariff update, so I shouldn't have to pay a tariff on them, but it's a good bit of cards, and hopefully I'll get those in this week. That's about it for today. It's now Wednesday, April 9th. Sales are still pretty steady at about 10 to 20 boxes a day. Get my first shipment in since the tariffs were enacted. It's just 13 shiny treasure boxes because we have to stay under the $800 limit. There was a new update that they are doing a 90-day pause on adding the 24%, so we still have 10% if you go over the 800 mark. I'm hoping that negotiations will change that and we can go back to how it was. But for now, we can only do one shipment of $800 or less a day. So tomorrow I have another shipment of shiny treasure coming in, and the day after that I'll have another shipment of something else coming in, and that's just how we're gonna have to deal with it for now. All right, it is now Thursday, April 10th. I got a bunch of mail in today, so we're gonna be opening some of it up on camera, and then I'll kind of go through my thoughts on getting everything. Most of it is cards, and I did get my Japanese shipment in as well, so we'll probably go through that. But I already opened one of the orders, the little Infernape illustration rare from TCG Player. I got really lucky, it looks like. So basically the main two sources that I can get English cards is eBay and TCG Player, and you know everyone has access to that. And you're going to be paying full market majority of the time. Sometimes you can get deals, but we got ourselves a Darkrai. I think I got this one off of TCG Player, but it looks like the centering is bad. So not only is it bad, but it's extremely bad. You can see the right is awful. So whenever you're buying a card on TCG Player, you are rolling the dice. And I knew that going into it. Obviously, I bought plenty of cards off of TCG Player. So this card is still near mint. Doesn't look like there's a ton of scratches or anything. But as you can see, I can't grade it because, well, the centering is awful. So I will have to scan this in and sell it myself at probably a loss or a break even. However, this one I got off of TCG Player. The centering is great, and obviously I need to take it out and look at. But the thing is, it really depends on how you want to spend your time. Do you want to spend time looking through pictures on eBay? Or do you want to spend time just bulk buying and then having to sell off your misses? There's pros and cons to both. If you're first starting out, I definitely recommend buying mostly on eBay or in person if you have access in person. Go to like a convention or something like that. But I'm going to be doing a combination of eBay and TCG Player. Let's see, what is this? Make sure my information's not on there. Yeah, we're good. This one's from eBay. Very fancy packaging. It's really annoying buying individual packages because then you have to open them all like this, but that's just part of it. Let's see. Hey, it's my Giratina. So I bought this one off of eBay. So like the higher tier singles, I try to buy them off of eBay because you can see the picture. And you see this one's actually, the centering on the right is a little heavier than the left, but it looks very good on the front. And in the pictures, it didn't look like there was any scratches, but obviously I got to be thorough and look through it. This one, I think this one's from eBay as well. But as you can see, people package things differently. There we go. So as you can see, people package things differently, and this person went all out on the bubble wrap. And you can spend a lot of time unboxing cards if you buy a lot at once, because you're going to get tons of different types of packaging. Some people go crazy and use a ton of bubble wrap. Some people probably don't put enough, but this guy, he went all out, it looks like. I don't remember what card it is. I've been buying a lot of English cards to grade. It's a Deoxys. And you might be wondering, why would you be grading right now with PSA when they just upped their prices and their turnaround times? Well, to me, it's just a great time to be buying English cards because so many of them have dropped in price. You go look at the graphs on TCG Player, and yeah, I got this one. Actually, I can't remember if this one is eBay or TCG Player. Centering is not fantastic on it. Yeah, it's actually awful. So it probably is TCG Player, so we'll have to resell that one, unfortunately. So I'm going to open my Japanese package here, and then I'll just kind of show you guys what I got. All right, we just opened all of our packages from Japan, and for the very first time, I can say that I was scammed from Japan. I'll play you the clip. Okay, let's see what we got here today. All right, just throwing in raw dog. No protection. Oh my gosh, that looks fake. Oh my gosh, I think I just got scammed. Hold up. Yeah, it looks fake. Oh no. Compare that to this one. That looks fake, dude. It's that sticker trick, isn't it? Hold up. Let me set this one here. There's the one that I got earlier. This one looks real. So real one right here. Yeah, that's fake. Doesn't shine the same way. Dang, man. It's crazy. First time I've gotten scammed from Japan. Was not expecting that. It feels fake too. Yep. Hopefully I can get my money back on that. Dang. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. Look at this. Yep. It's that sticker trick. Oh my goodness. You're kidding. Comes right off. We just got scammed from Japan, guys. You're kidding me. As you can see here, this little sticker someone put on a common card, sent it to me for full price, so I'm gonna have to get a refund from Buyee for that. I recorded the whole process of me opening it, so I don't see why they wouldn't refund me for it. It's not even a card, it's a sticker, so wish me luck on that, guys. It's my first time ever getting scammed from Japan. But I did see a ton of posts about these before, so you know, I know I'm not the first one to get scammed. I guess I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I got. As you can see, I went heavy on the Umbreons because I saw the prices went down on them. So I got 3 of those, and then I got a Sylveon. So what would have been 4 Umbreons is now 3, and this scammed Umbreon that I paid, I think I paid 280 bucks for, somewhere around there. So wish me luck on that, and I'll definitely update you guys if I hear anything. I'm still waiting on PayPal for the other dispute that I'm going through, that someone bought some packs from my website. Definitely update you guys on that once that gets resolved. But yeah, this is a first, getting scammed on Buyee. And I'm very thorough when I check the sellers. I always check the sellers' reviews and stars and all of that. So this person just, they must have had a ton of 5 stars, and they're still getting away with it. So I'll try to figure out which seller it is and let you guys know. I'll pop it up right here, just for anyone that shops on Buyee. But yeah, I'm definitely not looking forward to having to deal with that, especially for a $280 to $300 card. Thankfully, it wasn't like thousands of dollars, but definitely be careful out there, guys, because scams are happening. It is now Friday, April 11th, and I just got a quick little mail day in. I went ahead and opened everything. Got some more English cards in here, mostly from TCG Player to grade. A little more than half of them I think are probably going to be gradable, which is about what I'm shooting for. It's kind of a gamble buying on TCG Player when you're buying cards to grade. I usually just go for the cheaper ones because that way the loss isn't too bad whenever you have to resell it. But anyways, I posted the reel from yesterday on both Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and it's kind of blown up, which is pretty crazy. I guess I should have expected it, but fortunately, all the other Umbreons I bought were legit. So I got a bunch more cards on the way next week. I've got a submission being returned on Monday, so that'll be the first part of the video next week. Another thing that happened today is that I got a restock on some Crimson Haze boxes and some Raging Surf boxes. Unfortunately, the tariff is still a thing, so I have to keep my orders under $800 per day. So I can't get like huge restocks anymore, which is very unfortunate because, especially when Team Rocket comes, I already talked about it earlier, but it's really going to suck. So hopefully they get that figured out. But this is kind of like the most amount of boxes that I can get in at once. And we are running somewhat low on inventory, so I will be restocking all throughout next week, keeping my orders under $800 per day. I'm still waiting on my distributor to ship my order. I'll go ahead and spoil it, I guess. It was actually binders that I ordered because there's no English product. So I'll show you guys that when it comes in. But that is basically it for the week. I'm still enjoying making these videos every single week, and I really appreciate the support that I've been getting. Make sure to check out my website, galaxycardshop.com. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.